Hi Aries, and welcome to your 2019 yearly forecast. So we are only going to look at positive messages in this tarot reading. That's not to say that there will be no challenges in 2019, but it's best to set your intentions for the year in a positive note rather than a negative one. So Aries, let's take a look and see what area of your life is going to see the most improvement and positive change in 2019? Okay, you guys got 6th house energy. Aquarius also received this. So, Aries, you're going to have a major overhaul in your life. And this is, it says the work, health, and duty area of your life. So this is your daily habits, your daily routine, the way you go about handling things, your reactions to stuff, just like all the pieces of you that are you and how you go about things. That's changing, Aries. Also, with this card, many of you are going to have an improvement to your health. If you've been just feeling low energy, you've been getting like a lot of colds, things like that, 2019 is different. You're going to just have a different vibe about you and feel much more in higher spirits, healthier, okay? Not everybody was obviously feeling low energy in 2018, but for those of you who were, 2019, that's changing because you're going to start changing a lot of different things that you do. And this is quite natural, very organic. Some of you might start eating better, exercising more, cutting out like different habits, like if you party a lot or you smoke or a lot of different toxic friendships, relationships, all of that. It's a big time purge. Like, what does not serve Aries? Aries is ready to just let go of. And again, it feels very natural to you. It's not a forced thing. It's just like if you've been on the fence about certain things, here comes 2019 and you just know. You make your decision. There's no more questioning. There's no more hesitation. It's just in you. What's best for you? What's going to, be the wisest decision for you, for your future, for the longevity of your happiness. So, Aries, let's pull another card here and see what's taking place inside of you for the positive. Oh, nice. We like this. Jupiter, your confidence, courage, self-belief, and luck. Yes. You're just feeling better, Aries, all the way around, about yourself, about your place in life, and if you've recently been feeling really bad, just not feeling accomplished, and I wish this had been different, and I wish I would have handled that different, like all of that type of energy is kind of falling to the wayside, and you're coming into a much more empowered state of being where you no longer feel helpless, like I can't make any change or I'm not sure what to do. And now you're like, I know exactly what I want and I know how I'm going to get there and I'm going to make this happen and nothing's going to stop me. Period. End of story. Okay, so very empowering. Also with Jupiter, Aries, your luck is going to improve. Things are just going to kind of seem to be going your way more in 2019 than they did in 2018 or before that, okay? Jupiter is super awesome to have in your spread, especially since Jupiter is in its home sign of Sagittarius right now, 9th house energy, which is higher spirituality and learning. So Aries, all the different experiences and lessons and energies you've been working with, you're receiving the reward of that in 2019. So let's pull some more cards, Aries. I keep adding to this. Alright, so we have a family over here with 6th house. Yeah, big time has to do with your connections, Aries. Your friendships, your family relationships, your romantic partnership, relationship with coworkers, the relationship you hold with yourself. That's where we're having the biggest change. But remember, for the positive, okay? Aries, as you begin to love and honor and nurture yourself more, the more your energy just attracts people to love you and respect you and nurture you and honor you. How we treat ourselves is truly everything. And that's not saying that if we don't love ourselves and we have bad self-esteem, that every relationship in our life is going to reflect that back to us. Absolutely not. You know, there's going to be other relationships where the energy of that person is different, where they don't reflect back the negative to you, they reflect back the positive to you. Okay, so if you're dealing with some issues, it doesn't mean every relationship is going to reflect that back. All right, but the ones that do reflect that back to you, it's like you're connecting the dots, and you're loving yourself more. You're not feeling worthless. You're like, no, screw you. Like, who are you to make me feel this way? Or you're wearing me out. Or I give, and you don't really give anything in return. So if you've been kind of like holding back on really telling somebody how you feel, like you're trying to be nice, you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to compromise, like all that's changing in 2019. And it's not like ego or selfish. It's, look, I'm a person too, and this does not fulfill me. And because of that, either this has to change or you have to go, because this just isn't going to work anymore. It's so not going to work anymore. And I will say this, Aquarius also received this in their reading as well, Aries. So maybe you have a heavy Aquarius placement in your chart, or your rising or moon, or this has a lot to do with an Aquarius person in your life. And you know, it's not just about relationships that are toxic that need to go. There's also new connections coming into your realm, Aries, where they're much more positive. They're more like your soul tribe. And with Jupiter here, it's like blessings of connection. It's not these, you know, connections that are reflecting back the worst things you feel about yourself. It's the positive. They're very uplifting and supportive, which I feel is what you need for some of you to really let go of these other toxic connections, because you might not recognize how toxic somebody is for you until long after they're gone, you know. I can give you a small example of this. When I met my ex, he was a total broken mess, and I knew nothing about energy back then, okay? So had I known, I would have done things way different. But anyways, total broken mess, going through a divorce, just a mess. And I was actually on point. I just got promoted to an accountant too. I was furthering my education, and my life was good. Like, everything was on point. And by the end of that relationship, he was on top of the world, doing amazing, and I was a complete mess, okay? And I never connected those dots, and was like, and then, you know, 3 years without him, I'm back on point. So, and he's kind of a mess. Again, imagine that. Anyways, Aries, sometimes you don't realize what somebody is taking from you because you care about them, because you feel obligated, you know, for whatever reason. And once they kind of get out of your life and you start regaining yourself and your energy and your empowerment, you realize how much was being taken from you, and you will refuse to indulge that type of person ever again, because there's only so much of each person, right? And, you know, honestly, people who are vultures, are energy vampires, are narcissistic, are very selfish, they only want you while you feed them whatever it is that you're giving to them. Once you are completely depleted, all of a sudden that's when they're breaking up with you, or that's when they don't want to be your friend anymore, or that's, you know, when you're getting ghosted and you're like, wait, what? And so then you get back on track and you're doing good, and oh, here they are again, right? Aries, I just feel those of you who have been suffering that, this is ending. Like, you see it for what it is, and you're not down for it anymore. Even if you care, you're like, no, because there's other connecting, supportive relationships in your life that are showing you, reflecting back to you your true worth, your true value, and you're not going to be willing to settle. And more to the point, it's like there's just going to be so many other good things happening in your life throughout 2019 that you're distracted from, you know, what was getting you down, and these relationships that are going nowhere. Like, you're distracted by positive, happy things. And so any of these relationships that like try to come back in at some point later on, you're not down for them. You're like, nope, done, over it. I don't need you in my space. Okay, over here with Jupiter, oh my gosh, look at that spirit symbol. And I told you, Jupiter is in the house of Sagittarius. It rules that house, and that's the house of higher spirituality, Aries. So your spirit guides, passed on loved ones, however you look at it, they are with you. They are directing you. Like, you're going to have so many signs, synchronicities, coincidences. Like, you're not going to be able to miss them. But also with this pairing, I feel Spirit is really blessing you, is bringing you in good relationships, and just has so many fun little surprises in store all throughout the year. Like, beautiful synchronicities that feel magical, subtle, precious moments that you're like, wow. You know, other things that are much bigger and in nature that are, you know, far more reaching, but it's just like this mixture of all this little magic that's going to play out for Aries over the course of 2019. And you're going to receive a lot of emotional support from connections coming into your life, but also from, you know, your spirit connections, your spirit guides, and passed on loved ones. So let's pull some more cards, Aries. Okay, well, 2 flew out, and that's exactly how many we need. So over here on family, yes, Aries, look at that. Love is all around. Yes, it is time for you to be loved and honored for who and what you are. And there's going to be so many new relationships coming into your realm in 2019 that are going to reflect that back to you so that you know it. And over here, look at this. Chameleon spirit, act as if. So this to me is basically where I feel your guides are like, if somebody is just coming into your life to try to take, or trying to come back into your life to try to take, you're going to see them for what they are. And if somehow, some way you're choosing to be blind, your guides, past on loved ones, are not going to allow it, because this person or persons are not part of your destiny going forward. Their energy, their vibration is not meant to keep going with you. It's too low, it's too dense, and you're going somewhere else. So it's like the universe is going to show you who's true and who's false, Aries. It's going to be no surprise in 2019. Like, you're just going to see it for what it is and be able to call it. And those relationships that are meant to be, you will receive the signs and synchronicities for those as well. Okay, this isn't just about calling out the fake. It's also about aligning to soulmates, and some of you twin flame energy, right? Because this is a general reading. And pay attention to signs and synchronicities. Pay attention to your intuition and your gut feeling about things, because it's all leading you to very positive, fortunate experiences and people and fun, with Jupiter sitting right there. So Aries, let's pull some more cards and keep adding to this. Right, so over here, woo, look at that. And guess what? Aquarius also received this card, and I believe they received this card. And oh my gosh, I think they also received that one. So dang, Aries, there is strong Aquarius connection between you and Aries, between you and Aquarius, there is a strong connection between the two readings, and you don't even have to have anything to do with Aquarius energy. Aries, just watch that reading. I feel like they're connected somehow, some way, and what's not answered here for you, I feel like may be answered in that reading for you, okay? Because here we have first card out also in Aquarius's reading is the Mute card. To me, Aries, this is where we've got to just cut off those toxic relationships, okay? Because the person is false. Like, with this card, it's somebody who cannot take responsibility whatsoever. And I normally wouldn't read this card like that, but again, this is so mirroring Aquarius's reading that I feel like that same type of energy is coming through here for you guys, Aries, where somebody can justify anything they do, but if you did anything that they did, oh my God, it's the end of the world. But when they do it, it's like they find a good excuse or reason why. And I think you are coming to the understanding of that, like how they're manipulating you in that fashion, because when they say, when you do something or they're trying to call you out on something, they're very clever in how they say things, and you know, you care, so you do think about it and you want to analyze it and try to figure out where they're coming from, when the whole time they know they're full of crap, okay? They know that when they're doing something, it's bad, and you know, just as bad as when they're trying to call you out on something, okay? But they are always going to find an excuse, reason, justification for their bad behavior, whether, you know, they don't respect you, they cheat, they lie, whatever it is, like they're always going to justify it and somehow, some way, turn it and blame it on you, or blame it on the circumstances of their life or their day at the time. You know, well, if you wouldn't have said or done XYZ, I would have never. Well, that's not taking any responsibility or accountability. You know, people can only trigger us. How we react, what we choose to do in return is 100% our decision. Whether the person deserves us to sock them in the face or not is our decision, okay? You don't always have to dish out to somebody what they deserve, because what you give, the energy you put out, comes back to you, whether you feel justified in it or not, all right? It will come back to you. So I always say that. Spend your energy wisely. Sometimes when I'm really worked up with somebody, I'll be thinking about something. I'm like, am I going to say this? Am I going to do this? Is this worth the energy that it's going to cost me and what might come back to me? I do think that. And, you know, it's usually just if I want to say something to an ex, really. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm just mad right now in this moment. I'm just triggered really, really bad. And I'm not gonna do anything, because what I do about it is my responsibility, and what I do about it is going to come back to me. So Aries, there are some people who are never ever going to take responsibility or accountability, and are always going to find a loophole and are always going to blame you. Those are not your people. Those are the people that need to go. They will never ever change. It's just their personality. And unless the universe does some crazy stuff in their world to totally shift them and slap them awake, chances are they're going to remain the very same no matter what. And that's just beating a dead horse. You can't work with that energy. Like, you'll be pouring yourself into a black hole. So whoever needs to go, it's time to let them go. It's time to cut them off, because Aries, there's other beautiful connections coming in that will support you, that will be there for you the way that you absolutely deserve, okay? And some of you, this might be a case where, you know what, if you just cut a fool off for a while, that might be enough to snap them back into reality, all right? With this card here. Ooh, look at this. We have material wealth. And we have fifth dimension. Yep, Aries, just like I said, much stronger connections that are with this material wealth. I feel like this is talking more about the exchange of energy between you and the relationships in your life, where you are going to finally start receiving back, Aries, you know, gifts, love, appreciation, respect, honor, all those things. I feel like that's what this card is really talking about, sitting next to fifth dimension. You know, it's no more drama, no more trauma. You're ready for the next level. Things are getting better for you. Things are improving for you. And it's really all about like connections and changing you, changing your vibe, your routine, the way you go about things, cutting certain people out that just don't deserve, Aries. They don't. All right. Over here we have a compromise, return, and victim. Oh, look at that, Aries. What did we just talk about? Okay, so because this is real relationship based, all relationships, you know, not just romance, friends, family, co-worker, relationship with self, relationship with spirit, relationship with our spirit guides, like all relationships. There's a big time change happening in you because sixth house came out, which means you are changing the way you handle, react, respond, do things, go about things. Different pattern behaviors are changing, like all of it, Aries. And because of that, there are certain people that are just kind of naturally fading out or kind of have been fading out over 2018. And some of them you're outright going to cut off. Now, because I say there's connections coming in, I do see where some of the people that have faded away, they're coming back in, Aries, right here, okay? And they're wanting you to compromise. They're giving you a really good story. Now, there are some where, like I said, you cut them off and that's all it takes for them to pull their head out their butt. That person, you're going to know who that person is because they're going to take accountability and responsibility, and they're not going to be blaming you or anybody else, Aries. They're going to be like, I was an idiot. This is what I did, and I'm sorry, and I'm wrong, and you're going to see their true colors, okay? But there's other people that are trying to get back in, Aries, and no, those are the people I was talking about right here, where they are the perpetual victim. All right, it's there, you are always in the wrong, they're always blaming you, it's always somebody else's fault, and when they do something they can find any way and every way to justify it. All right, and again, you'll know the difference between the person who has truly had to come to Jesus about their behavior and the person who is just trying to come back and milk you for some more. What else can I get out of Aries? Because you'll see their true colors, especially sitting here next to spirit symbol. Your guides, your passed on loved ones are going to let you know who is who, because Aries, it is time for fifth dimension consciousness and connection in relationships for where you're at on your life journey, okay? Especially with soul symbol here, and the relationships and connections that you have that are not capable of going to this higher level of connection, they need to fade away. They cannot be in your world. They are not meant to go where you're going, because there's fortune and blessings for Aries in 2019, okay? And the victim, the narcissist, the user, is going to try to convince you that you need to compromise and that you need to do all these different things. No, you don't. You just need to be like, you got to go. Now, other connections where you know that you did certain things, or you know the person that you had to cut off has really come to understand, you know, what they did and why it hurt you and damaged things, etc. You guys can come to a compromise, okay? You guys can come to a beautiful compromise and understanding with each other, Aries. You've just got to make sure you're able to see who's who, see the true colors of all, and your spirit guides are not going to like keep you guessing, all right? The writing will be on the wall 100% for sure when it comes to that. So let's pull an advice card for you guys. Oh, okay, that was very easy right there. Okay, we have something is not quite right. Oh, imagine that. Aries, it says, beware that something deceitful may hide behind a mask. Beware as well that some unpleasant energy may attach itself to your surroundings. Declutter and detox. Sever your connections to negative influences. Seek help. So, Aries, with this right here, it's pretty much just saying everything I said. And with the chameleon there, you'll see the true colors. When you feel like something is not right with somebody, you are 100% correct. Don't indulge that relationship. Don't even indulge their lie. None of it. Cut them off, cut them out, because it is not fifth dimension connection and energy. And that's what you're working on in 2019, is going to that next level in your relationships. Some of your existing relationships are going to make that jump with you, okay? Others, you have to fall away and they may eventually come back. But some relationships, Aries, no, they must go. They are not capable of rising with you to work on what you are working on for part of your life journey this year, all right? And again, you will see them for who and what they are. Even if you don't want to, your guides will not let you not see it, okay? So let's pull one final card, Aries. All right, so this is the artwork on the back of your card. And, ooh, you guys have a truth card, and this is suffering. So listen to this. It says, there is a path leading to complete deliverance from suffering. Conflicts and struggle, as well as happiness and joy, are all transitionary experiences. Once you awaken to this fundamental fact of life, you can transform any pain, conflict, or struggle into a positive experience. Wow, Aries, look at that. You guys are... The truth card is like, you know, one of the four truths about life as far as Buddhism goes. And suffering is one of these truths, and pretty much suffering is of our own making, even if we don't recognize it as such. And this is saying that, you know, even these relationships that have to go, you can transform them into a positive experience because... Aries, they've taught you, and now you know how to see somebody's true colors, and you know when somebody's trying to manipulate you and gaslight you. Like, you see all of that, and you've recognized that trying to maintain a relationship with somebody of that energy is only going to bring you suffering. I always say, when it comes to friends or family or lovers, if you're going to hurt me this much, I would rather hurt because I miss you than hurt because you're actually inflicting harm upon me somehow, some way. And I feel like that applies here. And the more you're willing to let go of those relationships that are very narcissistic, the less you will suffer, Aries. And you're just going to see who's who in 2019. And you're ready to shed, because there's some very beautiful connections coming in that are not one-sided, that don't drain you, don't suck you dry. And again, with Jupiter there, it's like the universe is sprinkling magic in your world all throughout 2019. And your spirit guides, past and loved ones, are working very, very closely with you. All right, so Aries, those are your messages. I'm wishing you all the very best. Take care.